So let's go with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yeah.
It's me, Mario. Okie dokie.
So yeah, we're running Indigo Island, hacked by spiders, which is really fun hack. It's basically, as Maddie was pointing out, that actually has nice continuity with the previous spiders hack, where that last area in Mushroom Cup leads into this. Indigo Island has a lot of like really hidden things, which play really fun on the run. So we immediately go to find the yellow switch here. Well, after getting the fun Toad Star.
Here we go.
So Indigo Island is an open world hack with that is also non-stop, which leads to some very interesting routing choices that affect things. Typically that means like knocking out some bonus stuff at the beginning. Like you say, yellow switch. There are things you can do to actually make that yellow switch pressable, in which case it does a lot of jank. I've heard that it removes some of Mario's controls in exchange for 3 stars or something. I don't know if people are memeing about that. Yellow switches do some silly stuff when you actually try to make them be in ROM hacks from what I've heard.
Here we go.
Yeah, to the beginning stuff. Indigo Island has a lot of very cryptic stars hidden all over, which play really into the way to route things. Generally speaking, open world hacks tend to have very interesting. This is open world and non-stop, so both. So there's a lot of like really interesting little routing intricacies between how you go from course to course and how that lets you maximize. And also like between these courses, which entrance do you go in, how many coins you can get, how you can route from star to star. It makes it from a routing perspective very challenging, especially if something goes wrong, finding a way to pack things up. Sagas is full of meme stars, yes. I think the plot of the sack is something along the lines of the world is turning blue and Mario's trying to gather the stars to stop it from turning blue, and the main point that ends up making, in my opinion, is that maybe they shouldn't do that because I honestly think the aesthetic in the sack is really pretty. Blue Mario is a good vibe. A lot of it is just finding ways to get from star to star, making sure to maximize the points in between. Generally speaking, for 107% categories like these, maximizing. Oh gosh, blue. Yeah, that very much explains a lot of the emotions of this hack. Now, we avoided a death to the funny with the chain chumps, which is kind of spooky. If the world was blue, would be Nods, probably not the best. Gion here, starting the great battle with Shuri and Sigil already. The Night of Doom Copers. Yeah, by combining the non-stop feature with 50 coins stars, very easy to just quickly get get through a lot of these courses. So almost done with Chris 1 here. That is a very visceral copium emote. That copium emote carries some emotion. Of course, coming up has a lot of like very vertical elements, which feels spooky. I think people in general have something of a self-deprecating problem in the community bell ring. It's something that I really hope people slowly feel better about. Generally speaking, it's honestly kind of incredible to me to what I see some of the best players in the community with all the crazy things they do. And generally speaking, I have so much respect for what so many people here do. They always talk about themselves so negatively when the things they do are genuinely breathtaking.
Here we go!
Going on a middle cap is in position to take the rest of the stage, I believe. Because yeah, then during metal cap, I was always gonna run the slight issue that falling off vertically is definitely an issue. Like this is one of those places where the open world nature of the hack is really just brutal. Because if you fall off, you need to make a fairly large reclimb, and it just combines fairly poorly with the way that it makes a lot of the nature of this hack very punishing. In general, a lot of the things about this hack are very brutal. There's a lot of very dangerous skips, mistakes that to be very punished because of the non-stop system. And on top of that, there's a trick you have to do in the ending, which if you're not familiar with this hack, does genuinely like an awful like SBLJ tier, like incredibly difficult BLJ to do at the end. Which means that genuinely speaking, until the actual last second, you haven't done like the hardest thing, which just makes this hack very punishing to run. But there's some pretty cool movement as a result of these elements as well. Try to back this way back to try being an egomaniac. Honestly, same Bigfoot. I think that's what the community needs. We just need more loud, arrogant people. And ironically, I think it's a good influence. Here, there's 3 big bullies, but only one of them is real.
Here we go!
I'm louder and more arrogant than you. Bigfoot, you're challenging me to the most specific battle of all time. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I currently have a microphone, 2 SRM, and you do not, so I think by definition I am louder than you. So let's ignore the fact that you have your own run in a bit. Feel weird not seeing Odyssey movement? I was kind of memeing about this earlier, like the Odyssey... For some reason, the Odyssey Bowser is the coolest looking Bowser remake fight I have ever seen. Usually attempts to make Bowser interesting in ROM hacks are some copium. And then the coolest ideas for it are somehow in the Odyssey movement. I just don't understand how that happened. It is cool, but I'm confused. Like, not to be like bigoted against Odyssey movement kind of things, but... Zier has a really cool Bowser as well. I mean, in general, like, the way that you keep avoiding, like, vanilla Bowsers leads to some really cool ideas like that. Feels a lot nicer than the absolute classic where you beat, like, a super Kaizo and then you fight vanilla Bowser with some meme text, which seems to be what every single Kaizo has done ever. Of course, mighty the absolute classics.
Here we go!
Surrounding here in all these stages tends to very neatly come together, getting the 50s and quickly wrapping up the star count and finding an exit. The sandy and icy stage here has a lot of warps between a top and bottom layer, which tends to also lead to some fun routing decisions. Also makes the stage a bit of a mess to figure out casually. Base tag lab.
Here we go!
If you're not stealing, you're not making real hacks. Yeah, Bigfoot, that about sums it up. Oh my gosh, the traditional you reach the Bowser, there is quicksand everywhere, and 50 Kuramames is just some suffering. Oh, that is genuinely incredibly exciting. I feel like few things in the community are possibly as exciting as the idea of a new Agla pack. Then again, the TM is starting to be scary because we've gotten similar TMs out of things like 4.9, so we have long learned to cope in this community. Unlike a tragic amount of people. That is true, Aglev. You got this. I'm just excited to see it. I feel like there's something about Escape from the JLD that felt like the most refined hack I've seen in a long time. It is genuinely hard to believe that you can non-professionally make something of that level of polish. 2 years for no reason, he says, referring to the probably most commonly selected best hack of all time. The gimmick of the stage is that you can swap between sand and icy areas, so in the context of speedrun, that just gives a strong incentive to do as much as you can in one day before going to the next. Society of more Dan hacks, Aglab? Go to the abuse of the slope to get speed out of the spin drift. Very cool start here where you need to get momentum from the cannon and keep it into a triple jump, which lets you get the height to make this jump. Freeze. Bookie was actually a very creative idea for a star. And we have begun joling. The run is now blessed. We have a joel from Sigo. Nothing good can happen in the community without the blessing of a joel from Sigo. Let's get you at the end. Get back. Going to World 1 lets us go to a completely different direction in the open revive. And I believe with more stars you can get through a different entrance here. Pet the Kip. It is truly an outrage that we have, after all of these years, not added Pet the Kip to the 7 TV of this chat. Hey, cool glitch there goes in with a cannon with Dead Mario. Dead Mario warps and then dies, which allows us to enter the stage. Those are convenient entrance. Now we're going to do what the classic Kaizo intended and slope jump away of the massive thing. Gives a big jump to the stage. We are dying to run, true. Peepo pays pal leave for the intended work. It would honestly be rather funny to have Katze has a 7 TV emote that's just reset and it just says ban me, and I feel like that would be rather cute in the context of a marathon to add that one. That one skips a lot to get to the star on the top. And then by quickly getting to the top using the slow picks, I think you can slowly trace your way down here. Speeds up a lot. I know, I have the classic. I feel that's really particularly nice on like a marathon run.
Here we go!
That is probably not the strat, Tala. I think someone should reroute that strat as the strat that Tala has pointed out. Anyways. Agleb being relatable. You see, Agleb was talking about finishing projects, which made Agleb not relatable, so Agleb is now fixing it by being relatable by forgetting a pile of other stuff. Imagine finishing your projects unironically.
Here we go!
Need these to start to. Move up all the way here. Yeah, editors are important to manage. The absolute most important thing to do is, of course, never to make me an editor, because anyone who gives me editor privileges sees their entire chat flooded with pet emotes. He has the two classics. The KT meme emotes, the Maria pet emotes,
Here we go!
the Serp emotes. Truly, the three mistakes should never unleash.
Here we go!
The stage is pretty open, separated a lot by slopes, and slow sand, which makes it pretty fun to break in a speedrun. Especially because this stage is kind of suffering casually. Although it's, I guess, suffering in a speedrun in its own way when the punishment is slow sand. Run death by slow sand is a fate worse than death. And players coping. Out of the original, like, early 2010s hacks, the thing that has actually aged the worst tends to be the music, just because it ends up being so overused in every hack for the next half a decade. That is true, so if we swap forts, are you going to stop criticizing the Toho's music spam? Aglab? Yeah, that actually does bring its own unique vibe. What was the joke? Aw, I like having eternal dumb arguments with people. Like, that kind of thing. This is sort of oddly satisfying. Yeah, school singing has a properly made that properly cultivate the creepy vibe like that. If you compared to like traditional Mario-y like level design, like I think has its own challenge. Society of the Knight of Good was perfectly run in Sego. I guess Sego does run it pretty perfectly, but you know, I don't know how to make the actual. I don't know. It's coming, Sego. There's no escape. Anyways, yeah, welcome to suffering. This BLJ is suffering. Thankfully, got it decently painlessly this time. One slight issue is that Katze789 unfortunately has to play on a backup keyboard, which he does an amazing job playing around, but the BLJ is really brutal about that kind of thing. Mashing is really mean when you have to do like mashing is very hardware dependent at times. Tragically speaking. I'm talking about this game's classic, the funnies. The power of all three wing caps. All three caps, not wing caps. No, nothing can stand in our way.
Here we go! Mamma mia!
That far brings us back to spawn, which puts us in position to tackle the rest of the stage. And yeah, as always, a bit of a meaningful routing decision with these like non-stop hacks is when you would enter the cap stage to get the cap versus trying to maintain coin count for these stars.
Here we go!
That's exciting. Hope your hack demo goes well. You're being brutal. Yes, cannon cap plate here also being as brutal as it is in any other game. It'll be finished when I finally make a hack copium.
Here we go! Here we go! Here we go!
Make the stage done. Wing cap, even in the stage that is made for the wing cap, meant to be traversed by the wing cap, lets you still knock out a bunch of stars with it just by the essence of the fact that wing cap has the power to passively break anything you put it in. As soon as I can press ketchup again, yeah, I heard they're being kind of cringe about that. Didn't they like take down the free version citing some like made-up security concern? The absolute classic. Motivation is super Kaizo. But me society will be cool seeing your project when it's done. Seriously, good luck, it's really cool that you're trying to make something. That is why, Zaglab.
Here we go!
no. Now I don't know which thing I'm rooting for you to finish, Terrence. Yeah, that's tragic. However, since they pretended to, since they are pretending they took down the free version out of quote-unquote security concerns, rather than it like not being, rather than an attempt to make it have to be paid, I think that it is legal to just get that version from a friend. I think that is, I think that is a thing you're allowed to do. Make an attack in 30 days. Imagine, be like Eivor and make a functional hack in 11 hours. So what at the stage? This game makes a lot of this game makes a lot of use of like fairly scenic water, which the speedrun has typical tragic implications. Oh my gosh, Sal, I know, right? So the star behind the switch, I remember casually I spent a very large amount of time, I think genuinely at least an hour, trying to find a way to clip into that cage because doing it tended to seem more boring. I don't think I found one at the end. Saying used is fairly tragic, Samantha. I don't think anyone has a full idea planned out. True. For a while I tried just jotting down every idea that I had just off the top of my head into a piece of paper so that I could remember them, and then they kept breaking when I tried to put them into something, or having to make connective tissue between them is hard. Oh yes, the absolute classic. Very tragic, that's all. I actually love to see what kind of hack you would make. I'm very excited to see what you make. Very clean wall kicks there. Very spooky brave moment to go for, but works out really well. As does that dive. No one spoke too much. Yes, that's exactly what says, and I think those are pretty easy to ask people who are very experienced coding, even as something you're not very comfortable with. You gotta help in this community.
Here we go!
Sure. That'd be really cool to see Sega. I'm actually very excited to see what Sega would do. Anyway, now we enter the water stage, so everyone take out your rubber bands. But I think this stage actually has some pretty interesting movement here as well. It's also just a very beautiful stage. I feel like people don't give this hack credit for just how passively pretty it is. I would genuinely love to see a Sega hack so much, though. Such as it is, yes, Nicholas. believe that Prack is trying to learn decomp. There we go, we have retrieved the rubber bands. During whatever the water level is called. Ah yes, the thing that was most important to adapt about the copy pasta. Does anyone have any ideas? Mood? That is unfortunate. Hopefully you can get a computer upgrade soon, because it'd be really cool to see a more fully developed idea from you. It's always nice getting to play your hacks when you make them. Community always needs more Fumo vibes. I can't even spell level. This is what happens when you don't read signs, Bigfoot. People should read signs or you're gonna end up like Bigfoot and completely lose the ability to spell. And it confuses me, you memorize 25,000 hotkeys and then you're permanently 20% faster compared to SketchUp. That's vaguely what I've been told is how it works. However, in the meantime, you just suffer. Gonna dodge some of the funnies to get the real star here. The sign propaganda, yes, I will push hack lore onto all of the young generations. You will all have to learn hack lore. We will all be here being quizzed on what our Mario is. In the SR series or whatever. It's funny how, like, at the same time that some people like obsess about like hack lore like me, some people genuinely play through the entire SR series and wouldn't even tell you what like our Mario is. Truly the two genders as far as hacks go.
Here we go!
Our made Mario. I don't know, but I've been using a lot of them. They die real easy. My hack will have 0 lore. That's valid, if that's what you want to make, Sigo. You just gotta see how it turns out. Maybe I'll like live make a fanfic of it as I play. Okay, I have a very clean water stage. The vacation resort stays, but it's incredibly full. Chill theme is actually fairly mean. Oh, wait, thanks for cut. Check, I think people are typically very excited to like beta test if you're looking for someone. I'm gonna miss out on anything. But whenever you release it, I'll be sure to play as much of it as I possibly can. I would love to play anything you make. Honestly, to either of Vita.
Here we go!
Okay, we avoided any annoyances with the poles, which poles tend to be pretty finicky just because of pole vibes. Yeah, it's nice when the easier strat is also the one that looks better. Truly the optimal outcome. Every star has a memory recovered, or when you finally perform your SSRM, it can be a memory lost, because you can say goodbye to old demons that have killed runs, knowing they can't hurt you anymore. Yeah, Vanish Cap kinda doesn't render very much here, but let's conserve fire. We can double jump to skip the switch here, or triple jump. Katze moving as always. Katze the legend. Comes here, Xenon. Nice seeing you as always. Maria only, true. Maria only is actually a very accurate description because I was supposed to have a co-commentator that I was relying on for a lot of knowledge that I don't have. But regardless, I think it's been I'm hoping it's been a cute vibe at least. Or if not, y'all have this like Katze gameplay to look at. So really, y'all are probably entertained the other way. Forgotten Edition. Sounds kind of like a wistful title, just considering that I think you're making something old that actually could be really cool. Absolute classic. Pretty cool to see Xenon make more things, actually. I haven't played that much from Xenon, but what I've played I remember I really, really liked. So, hearing you saying you check anything out is in that sense very exciting to me immediately. Into a big branching stage. When the triangles, you eat the... I have no idea what TMEM is. For the triangles, you eat it. Texture memory. That's cool. I did the warps in the stage. Combined with different things which shall make it pretty... and the... and knowing where all like the miscellaneous things take you makes it pretty fun throughout the tier. The original left the community nearly a decade ago? Dang. A decade. Kinda cool that you still remember something like that after all that time. It's really sad seeing people leave. It's actually been really nice seeing some old legends be coming back recently. Dan speedrunning, the Jonk making the Jonks. There's something really nice about seeing people like that. But yeah, in general, too many community members are touching grass. You all need to stop touching grass. It is genuinely very unhelpful to the joy of seeing new hacks come out. The classic vanilla, where the Koopa takes 1,500 years, so you can just do whatever else in the meantime. Just pause in the middle of the road to you eat Lakitus, because Koopa is truly a skill issue. Spamming crouch is looking like literally teeth hanging on the Koopa. At least that's how I interpreted that. Another looking stage. Now we come into the spider stage, because of course, it being a spider sack, we need a spider stage. That's what it always reminds me of just seeing these spiders, like, I don't know, the "we're bringing chili" meme. The opening to Flower Cup. Generally speaking, Flower Cup is a hack that actually means quite a bit to me. So seeing all the cool lore spiders just hanging out always kind of makes me smile. Those walls, which I think have the gimmick of fake holes, or maybe that's a different star. Yeah, no, they have fake holes, but it's pretty straightforward in this context. I'm bringing chili. Indeed. Truly one of the best hacks of all time. Did someone say SR5? I think you're really looking for it if you heard SR5, but honestly based. Great hack. I'm going to survive this marathon, Sag. I revived this alright at least, so we got the best SR to happen at least. By saying one of, implicitly it could have meant like 10 of them. That does not uniquely identify SR5 even if you're doing the meme. Okay, Siggo, that was just coping. Phantom played some swing SRM. Classic. Shoutouts to Phantom and the French block for being truly the backbone of this marathon. Hey Salty, always nice seeing ya. The best hack Yuiko enthusiast. I am genuinely excited to see y'all get 10 submissions like that and have to put your foot down next year, or next in the winter, because that is 100% what is happening. Like, I'm doing that. I remember Phantom stomped in hardcore. I don't know if Phantom had like a meltdown after I left, but Phantom was playing really, really well. They're already putting their foot down? That's a yeep out. I'm not being allowed to make my username include the words you eat is really some tragedy. Yeah, Void is kind of incredible at times. Started one of the few cheeses that I found casually because I couldn't figure out how to climb this tower at the time. Events exactly. How you do this are intended. Sometimes there's just things that every single person cheesed. You got star. Oh, Sag. first unfortunate mistake because when the ledge is physics, the game will just mean sometimes. Something kind of satisfying about the climbability of the tree, though.
Here we go!
Yeah. Thankfully, no issues wrapping up and getting it the second time. Now you shoot back once more, taking advantage of the power of open world hack. This time, we're not instantly dying.
Here we go!
Because the star is actually important to collect. So instant death is not that helpful sometimes. The warp is pretty cool though. Speaking of the instant death. This is genuinely such a cool glitch. Ironically, it reminds me, especially since it's Katze like doing something with the Mario being dead and still doing things. It reminds me of a similar thing that was implemented in Mario's trip to China recently. The hack ever. Actually, one of the coolest ideas in that hack. The revival crystals. Second Chinese hack ever, true. I feel like when I look at those hacks, they seem incredibly fun to any percent, but the idea of 100%ing them looks like chewing glass. Galaxy trip, oh maybe. Unfortunately missed a pretty cool looking wall kick there, but it's not exactly a big loss. Burger, you hardly know her. It's a bit early to be asking that question, but as far as being an incredible run, it definitely is.
Here we go!
People have actually been playing crazy this marathon. Shout out to the KPRX and Mushroom Cup. Runs were just absurd. KPRX was absurd. Like, as far as, like, getting a marathon road record is one thing, but getting a marathon kill the category is pretty fun and it's pretty ridiculous in its own right. Like this really imposing looking spider room with the star in the middle. Like, the star feels like you would go to it and then like a boss battle would spawn in like a Zelda game. They just go in to just grab it. Getting below 140 sounds actually absurd. Redemption run copium. Salty with the emote ever.
Here we go!
Side flip here. Star. Away from the cool stages, in my opinion. This makes me hope to see more of spiders as spiders soon.
Here we go!
But it says IRL, we need to. I mean, this is what I was saying. We should just stop people from touching grass in this community. All of you need to stop touching grass. I just want to see more hacks. And I miss people when they're gone. Just kidnap everyone for SRM, not just for SRM. I want more spiders hacks.
Here we go!
Imagine touching grass. The guy says the guy who literally went on the OWO journey yesterday. Or I think it was the day before yesterday. The OWO journey rather misleadingly referring to just going to every town nearby that has OWO in it for the meme. Course where I can see anything? Yeah. You see, this is why Dream Edition Course 13 is truly the best stage of all time. This is why Triplin is such a beloved jump. That's people talk about it so much because of how good and flawless it is. Truly gives Kaiser designers a lot to think about ways to move closer to the great ideal. We're gonna answer the question of what happened to King Boo and KBRX, and onwards. These slightly tilting platforms are so mean. You know, speedrunner you can do whatever, but like those things are horrifying to me casually. Oh gosh, Salty. The suffering. Doing some cleanups here with 50 secrets.
Here we go! Mamma mia!
Gosh, I love the time save of going for the punch down warp so that you die faster. Truly the death warp ever. Slide time, yeah. Oh my gosh, this slide is some suffering. When I played this hack casually, I spent longer in the slide than it takes to speedrun the entire hack altogether. This slide is actually just brutal beyond belief. This slide just personally hates you. When you play it, you get the distinct feeling that this slide is sentient and explicitly wants you to suffer. And it's very finicky, easy to fall off, and does take a while, so it's always a very scary moment. Spider's nerfed it a bit, not nerfed enough. Marine 17 evil. Except... just very much a lukewarm take there, actually. But thankfully in a speedrun it's a little bit more thinkable just because you know ways to like break through instead of having to do the entire intended path like that.
Here we go!
Ironically end up being some of the fastest stars in the route. And we have the aforementioned suffering.
Mamma mia!
You see, it is as I said, the slide is sentient and it hates you. Truly very tragic, bonk. Yeah, long deaths hurt. Pretty cleverly textured secrets here. Something really tragic about the something really tragic about it that hacks just have this issue that you just expect players to like load state and instead they fall forever into like a lava floor, or just fall forever into like a very low death warp. And then in a speedrun there's suffering.
Here we go! Here we go!
Never very cleanly recovered after that. Mr. B1 Fly Guy. Gosh, I went on a whole tangent about how much Fly Guy RNG can be awful when I was doing my SR8 run, but I am still traumatized. Even sight unseen, I feel your pain, Tala. And it's darn. Jumping and falling down to your death, oh my gosh. I feel like there's few things that communicate as much pain as the idea of a speedrunner accidentally hitting like a spin drift or something and seeing them so slowly twirling down. Truly the most like cartoonishly exaggerated slow death imaginable. The point of doom. We get to B3. B3 is a very weird stage because it is intended that you skip almost all of it with these warps. Never understood the vibe of this stage. And it seems like intended is some suffering too, so those warps really end up being rather beloved. Yeah, some Society of ZB4A moment. ZB4A truly proving to be super Kaizo TAS only. Regardless of the quality of the player, there's just no escape.
Here we go!
Funny how there's this little area at the end, so even if you did do the whole thing with doing it without cap corpse, you still miss out on big chunks of the stage at the end. No discolored madness. 1984. No one to the QSOGs or BLJs? Pretty good idea here. So we get to a stage here that even with my relatively limited knowledge of this hack, I have seen this stage do some awful jank to Katze. It's a really cool idea in theory. 2D Tetris World actually is pretty cool as a concept. But the stage is fairly janky. Some tragedies have transpired. The stage you never played? Yeah, I never found it. Chat never told me about Bigfoot Star Stars ones. They are the most hype things going on, honestly. We all love Bigfoot.
Here we go!
That might have been it, Salty. I mean, can you blame me? This place is horrible. This place is like, I mean, in a speedrun, it's cool to know where you are, but imagine navigating this place, imagine navigating this place on the first playthrough. It is genuinely suffering. A little warp here. Because ceilings are designed. Top 10 Fitu. Number 1. Wow, I truly did misread the direction of that joke, didn't I? That is probably the last one in the entire ranking, Salty. Really smooth way to grab secret there. Really cool. Get done exactly. Hey Navi.
Here we go!
That food lettuce. Ah yes, the specific genre of lettuce known as food lettuce. I know it's a typo, but it's fun to imagine just having a deep hatred of salads. The jump is cool.
Here we go!
Reaching the 100 star, cool milestone.
Here we go!
Hey Frosty! Oh my gosh, you really should!
Here we go!
When's Frosty come back? So we're done playing Tetris now? Journey. I saw Katze practicing the stage with a very glitchy save state. The stage looks horrifying when it's all in like badly loaded black and white textures, which is apparently a thing that Jabo does here sometimes. Jabo gang, Copium gang.
Here we go!
Long jumps. Probably the name ever. Yeah, Sex sure does end with some suffering. Society of the category here was like 100% instead of 111 stars, so that you could get the keys and didn't have to suffer at the end. Instead of having to deal with the classic Yep Cock SBLJ. It's another way of doing it. Then we have Katze's run meet the same fate that my run did yesterday. Shout us to that mess. Me and my ready to run a 1 hour 50-minute 5-star run. Sage commentary. I really do think we need that. I really do think we need like the reset emotes from Katsu's chat from 7TV here. It would truly add a very specific vibe. You should go to bed, dummy.
Here we go!
Just add a minute, call it even. Honestly speaking, the idea of having my run reported as just straightforwardly like SR8 5-star is genuinely very funny to me. I'm not sure if they're actually gonna call it SR8 5-star on the YouTube where Void was memeing, because it is technically the category I ran. But it's very funny to picture it happening.
Here we go!
I know, right? Just casually taking 10 times what world record is in that category. No, I think it's actually closer to 20 times. We're coming to the focus of the bullshit, because this hack, as cool as the category is, ends with some suffering. But remember why there's been a breathtaking run.
Here we go!
And we Joel. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, we're all raging. Y'all better be literally praying.
Here we go!
Oh my gosh, wait. I believe this is a very solid world record, actually. That was incredible. Oh my gosh. GG Katze, that was incredible. Marathon world record. World record UUE Tenegleb. That was incredible. Oh my gosh. Shout out to the fact that he's doing this on the copium broken keyboard, and even that couldn't stop him from destroying world record. Katze is genuinely too powerful.